You buy a pair of socks, that's 2 socks. You buy a pair of Bombas socks, that's 4 socks. Because one purchased is one donated. Socks are the #1 most requested clothing item in homeless shelters. So when you buy a pair of super comfortable Bombas socks, you're also donating a pair. Bombas customers have powered over 150 million donations. So Bombas would like to thank you 150 million times. But we only have like 30 seconds. Go to bombas.com and use code AUDIO for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com and use code AUDIO at checkout.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
The kettle's boiled, Vic.
Great. Perfect timing. Just a dash of milk for me, please, mate.
Here you go. Shall we get started then?
Have you ever woken up on a Sunday morning and said, I'm never drinking again, and then found yourself waving $50 at a barman by happy hour?
Are you wondering why everyone else can stop at 1 while you head to a dodgy after-party with a weird bloke called Disco Dave? If so, it might be time to take a deeper look at your relationship with your reliable social crutch, alcohol.
On each episode, we'll investigate our own dysfunctional dealings with booze and find out if it's possible to stop this deeply ingrained habit before things get too messy.
Yep, we're going to open up a shame shed of humiliating drinking stories to help you understand why waking up from a booze coma each weekend with a kebab sticking out of your top pocket might actually be negatively impacting your health.
Hamish and I are here to delve into what it's like being sober, an unwanted warts and all look into why giving up those cheeky pints or putting down those mummy wines will make you feel happier, help your anxiety and mental health, and turn you into the most sparkly, authentic version of you.
Won't that mean I become boring though, Vic?
Well, Hamish, we'll just have to wait and see. I'm Victoria Vanstone.
I'm Hamish Adams-Cairns.
And this is Sober Awkward. I had a funny thing happen this week, Hamish. I'd picked Fred up from school. I pick my kids up from school every day, and we got home and Fred handed me his artwork for the day, which often happens. It usually goes, well done, darling. That's very good. And it's like a unicorn with a mono leg or something like that. And then it goes in the special pile, which is the bin.
About this, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the bin. But because I can't keep everything unless it's really good. So it goes in the special pile. And I was like, oh, so what have you drawn today? And he handed me this piece of paper and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, okay. I said, Fred, is it a man on a bike? He was like, no, mummy. I said, is it a pair of maracas? He was like, no, it's not a pair of maracas. I was like, oh gosh, well, what is it then? He said, mummy, it's a massive penis.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it wasn't a mistake. It was actually he had in school. He's 6. Had thought it would be funny during their little art period, and the teacher had gone over to him and said, "What's this, Freddie?" And he'd said, "I don't know."
Oh,
and I said to him, why have you drawn that? Yeah, he didn't even tell the teacher. So in the morning, I couldn't help but hide my laugh, but I had to say to him, Fred, it's not okay to draw willies at school. And I went into the teacher in the morning and I was like, do we need to discuss Fred's picture today? And she was like, yes, I was wondering about that. And she had to have a little chat with him about, not drawing naughty bits at school. It was orange.
And details, so balls included?
It was balls. Yeah, it was balls. Yeah, it looked like maracas. This is a serious podcast for the first people listening today. This is about imposter syndrome. This has nothing to do with sobriety or mental health. These are just the ridiculous things that happen to me and Hamish every single week when you were in charge of small humans, isn't it, Hamish?
Yeah, I'm in the early stages of perfecting the, wow, that's an amazing drawing. Because what we get, I actually think maybe one of the most entertaining jobs that somebody that works at daycare can have is giving titles to children's drawings. So we'll get, it's a blank piece of paper and it's got one blue line on it and they will label it Sunny, my family. Or they'll go, Sunny, A butterfly.
Yeah.
Guys, it's one line. What do you mean a butterfly? Or my family? The beach. Amazing.
I know, when Nellie came home and passed me a picture, I was like, what's this, Nellie? And she looked at me with really scary eyes and went, it's a pig dragging a girl.
Yeah, that still frightens me. I think that made it into your first book, that one, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it did, yeah. A pig dragging a girl. There was blood and everything. Oh, God, the little psychos. I was going to say to you, Hamish, recently I've had quite a few emails about our body image episode in which I cried like a baby. We were talking about me being a bit of a bloater generally in my life. And I did have a bit of a blub in that episode. But people are literally emailing me to tell me how I should love myself more and what an impact I've had on their lives. Some even going as far to say that Sober Awkward had saved their lives. So there we are, kind of crying into our microphones, yet for some people out there that hear our voices, Hamish, our information, not the penis-related children drawings, the other stuff, actually does help them in their lives. But it's so hard to see or feel this impact, Hamish. And it's even harder for me to absorb it into my skin. I know that sounds really weird. I read the emails and I absolutely love receiving them, but I can't seem to change and simply can't swallow what they're so kindly saying in those messages. I was talking to a friend about this kind of imposter syndrome. And I said, I think I'm always destined to feel not quite good enough. And I wonder if this is a trait that some sober people feel, or some women perhaps, or is this something that everybody feels a little bit? A little bit.
Just a little bit.
Is it something that everybody feels? Not a little bit.
She can only say serious stuff for so long before something.
I sounded quite professional there for a minute, didn't I? I thought I'd better reel it back in. Since all the drawing talk. Try and sound a bit professional. I don't know, I said just a little bit. My friend then said, what would the old you think of you right now?
Deep.
The question blew me away, Hamish. So that's what we're going to sort of talk a bit about today, really seeing who we are and what we've achieved by going sober.
Right. So yeah, what you're describing here is imposter syndrome, as far as I know it. Imposter syndrome is that sneaky, horrible feeling that you're a fraud, that you don't deserve your success, your achievements, or even your place in the room, and that any minute now, someone's going to see through you and reveal the bullshitter that lies underneath.
Yeah, I think there's a bullshitter. That's what it's exactly how I feel, Hamish.
Yeah, that's imposter syndrome. You know you're a bullshitter and you're waiting for everyone to find out. Even when there's evidence that you're doing really well, like praise and awards and compliments and lovely emails and life improvements, your brain tells you it's all luck, you just got away with it, you're not really good enough, and you're just doing a good job of conning everyone.
Yeah, that's how it feels. I do it to myself. There's one thing that I do all the time. In fact, I do it almost every day. If I'm emailing out people about myself, or I'm writing a bio, or I'm updating my profile on LinkedIn or something like that, do you know what I write, Haim? This is so fucked up. I write, I'm just a mum from Queensland, and I have to delete it every time. I write, I'm just a mum. That is kind of how I describe myself. Somebody said that I'm a Kmart writer. My work is, targeted at Kmart mums, and that's how I've started to describe myself. I'm just a mum, and my target audience is Kmart mums. So I'm really, really pushing myself down there, feeling unworthy of even being in the same room as what I would call a proper writer. And I do it all the time. I kind of put myself down about my writing.
I need to stop you there, because anyone who is a parent, and I think particularly a mum, would understand how insanely ridiculous the idea of describing yourself as just a mum is.
Yeah,
a mum is the most intense, emotionally, physically, mentally, 24 hours a day job in the world. All mums, whether or not you think you're doing a good job or a bad job as a parent, are superhumans. There is no just a mum. Like, it's the last job in the world that you can put just in front of, in my opinion.
But thank you for recognising that, Hamish. But it's like, well, I am just a mum in some respects when I'm being a mum. But actually, I do loads of other stuff. Like, I had a 2-page spread in the newspaper last week. I'm not just a mum at all. I think partly I do it because I don't want to be a complete arsehole. And I want to be humble and relatable. I don't want to shout about success. No one wants to hang out with a sort of dickhead like that, do they? Somebody that's harping on about themselves. I find it hard to share the wins, is what I'm saying, Hamish, without feeling like a bit of a dick. Do you share your wins sometimes? Do you find it weird?
I know what you mean. So, funnily enough, I actually discovered something recently about myself. So I started this new job, in August. And I guess one of the things that happens when you start a new job is that the amount of new people that you are meeting every day goes through the roof. Once you're in a comfortable job or you live in the same place for a long time, you're not meeting new people all that often. And I'm meeting a lot of new people at the moment. And I don't think I necessarily share wins all that vocally. Although, to be fair, I'm not sure how many wins I have to share. But I'm definitely someone who puts luck at the centerpiece of any success story that I share. So when I'm meeting someone new, I've got stories about meeting Liz or about stumbling across these amazing places all around the world that I've ended up living in rent-free, or getting my current job even, or even meeting you and doing this podcast. I think I underplay the fact that I am putting something positive out in the world that feeds positivity back. And I instead sort of stack all of the importance of the good things that happen to me on good luck. That's what I think I do, which I guess is kind of a version. It's kind of like a defense mechanism against imposter syndrome, I suppose.
Yes.
But I think on the flip side, I've realised that I'm not shy about sharing my stories. And I think that is a bit of a fine line. So I met somebody new the other day, and my manager came over, "What are you guys talking about?" And she was like, "Oh, he's just telling me about clown school." And I felt two things there. I was like, I'm glad that I'm sort of sharing a story, that's conversation. But part of me was also scared that the manager was thinking like, oh, here we go. Like, he's banging, day one, and he's banging on about the old clown school thing.
Oh, like because he'd heard it before.
Everyone knows I'm at clown school, but yes, certainly the manager. And I just thought there was a moment that I died inside when she was like, "Oh yeah, he's telling you about the clown school thing." I was like, "Go on."
There's nothing worse than when you told somebody like that something that you think's a really funny story, and you tell one person, and then you're telling someone else, and that same person overhears you, and it's the same story
during the same party.
And it's like that is your only story, and that is all you've got going for you, is that one thing happened once 25 years ago. There's nothing more embarrassing.
Well, here's what I feel with regards to imposter syndrome and stories, because I think mainly because I have had a weird career. So, as a result of being like an actor and a comic, you just have a million of jobs that aren't acting and comedy. So I feel I've got lots of stories to tell, mainly from that and sort of living a weird, diverse life. And I love telling stories. But A, I don't want to dominate conversation and be a wanker like that. And B, I'm always scared of one-upping someone on a story.
Yes.
Like, I like conversations that are like, this extraordinary thing happened to me at music festival. And then the person you're speaking to is like, oh my God, me too. Here's a music festival story. And then we can connect. But I often fear that they think that I'm trying to one-up them.
God, I wonder if that's one of the reasons we drank. Because you and I are in our heads when we're having a conversation, especially sober. So we're thinking about, because we're English and we're polite. I think it comes back to this a lot of the time. It's about manners. And we're trying not to offend the person. There's a lot going on when I'm having a conversation with someone nowadays, mentally for me. I'm trying to make sure that I share just the right amount, that I don't interrupt their stories, that I find some sort of connection between us, and there's actually too much going on. I'd really like to just relax and have a conversation, which I think is why sometimes sober people find it easier just to hang out with people that they're really close to, because the conversation's much easier to have. I do find meeting new people quite hard, because I used to drink through those moments because it was much easier, and you didn't have imposter syndrome when you were 5 pints in. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's an interesting question. Do you feel like your imposter syndrome started once you got sober?
Absolutely.
Do you think
100%.
That's because your career, like your, in brackets, successful career as a podcaster and an author start when you got sober? Do you think, if you had been an author and had a podcast where you get nice emails like we get when you were still drinking, do you think you would have felt imposter syndrome then?
I wouldn't have felt anything, Hamish, because I just would have dealt with it by blocking that emotion, whatever it was. If I'd got a nice email, I would have gone, yay, let's celebrate with a glass of wine. If I'd had a shitty email, I would have numbed it out. So it wouldn't have really made any difference. But I think the difference is now is that I'm just hyper aware of everything. Like my senses are really, really raw, and it makes most things harder, actually, which most sober people, is why this podcast is called what it is. It's awkward to have a conversation with someone when you're fully aware of what's going in your brain, what's happening in the room, what's happening with the person in front, making sure I don't offend anyone. Whereas before I didn't really care about those things. And also when you're in our sort of job, often we're looking for some sort of outside validation. Like I'm always like looking for people to say, is it good enough? Am I good enough? Do you like what I do? It's not like where you go into an office every day and you squirrel around and doing officey things like I know you do. Like you don't need validation. You just need a pay rise every now and again. Whereas with what we do, especially with writing, it can make you feel like you need a certain level of validation that people like you. And I never, ever had that before I was sober or before I started doing this job.
Funnily enough, and I don't want to go too far off tangent in terms of imposter syndrome, but I feel like the feelings that you describe there with regards to sort of seeing your own or how your own success is valued, I think you work in an industry which aligns poorly with how you think about yourself. And what I mean by that is the success of a podcast or a book is a number, the amount of sales, the amount of downloads, the amount of followers. And I think you get drawn towards the number rather than focusing on the impact. And I think it's harder to compute the impact. One email saying you changed my life is less loud than your listeners this month half in comparison to the previous month. And I feel like it's the perfect storm for your personality and the career you've chosen.
Totally agree with you. I'll be honest with you, Hamish. Last week I suffered burnout. I haven't had that before. I had a week where I had to cancel everything and not do anything and not speak to anybody because of what we're talking about right here. It got too much. And I've had this epiphany that my personality has become reliant upon the opinion of others, on how I feel as a human being has become dependent on what other people outside of my life, possibly people that I've never seen, think about me, which is actually a brilliant point for me to get to in my life, because it means I have to change. And I've been really aware of it this week. It's been really interesting. I've been chatting to people about it. I've been kind of studying a bit and learning why I am this way. And it is the nature of the beast. I wasn't like this before I started writing or podcasting. It is the nature of the beast. It's exactly what you say. And it's because you become aware of what people want from you and what they need from you. And because I'm a people pleaser, I just want to give. And I don't know where to stop. So there's a point that's come last week where I was just in my mentally not feeling healthy. And I just went, this has got to stop. It's got to come from the inside. So I've had a really interesting pivot this week where I'm starting to think about, like, what can I do? What would I really enjoy to do? Can I write just because I enjoy doing it, not because I need somebody else to say that I'm good enough? So this is really important, this episode today, because it is sort of about that. And it's about how we can change our own views of ourselves without worrying what anybody thinks and having this imposter syndrome, because actually it doesn't matter. I have a lovely family at home. Like, I have beautiful people around me, the ones that I want. So you're right. I do spend too much time doing that. And it's something I've had to learn. It's going to be an opportunity for growth for me, this realization, which I'm actually really looking forward to.
Gosh, thank you for sharing that, Vic. I know that's never easy sharing something like that publicly, so thank you for doing it. I guess...
Whatever.
Whatever. No one's listening until you realise everyone's fucking listening.
Whatever, mate. It got me wondering, though, are sober people more likely to suffer from imposter syndrome? I think it's a good question.
It's a good question, one that I've never thought of. When you get sober, you're essentially rebuilding your identity from the ground up. You're shedding a version of yourself that might have been deeply tied to drinking, socially, emotionally, even professionally. Suddenly, you're trying to operate in the world without that coping mechanism that you leaned on a lot, and without the familiar labels of the fun one or the party animal, or are they a chiller with a drink in their hand?
A chiller?
A chiller, like relaxed. They're way more relaxed after a drink.
Is that Gen Z lingo?
Oh, you know me, I'm down with the kids.
Yeah, dickhead. I get it. You don't feel qualified to be the new you yet, which is exactly what I feel like. You might look like a confident, sober person on the outside, but inside you're thinking, who do I think I am, pretending I have it all together?
Yep. And you could be battling that old mate of ours, shame. Many sober people carry guilt and shame from their drinking days. Even after a huge personal growth, that old shame can whisper, you're still not good enough, or people will still see through you.
And I feel like I have to constantly prove myself. It's a real bad habit, Hame. Sober people often feel pressure to prove they're doing well, thriving, living their best life. And that pressure can make you feel like a fraud if you're quietly struggling behind the scenes.
I agree with that so much. And funnily enough, that was the reason why I think at maybe the first episode of this year, I'd spent some time looking through my gratitude book. I thought I'd read every entry from last year. And I realized, and this is a bad thing to say on a sober podcast, but it's the truth, that I think I had more bad mental health days sober than before I was sober. Yeah. And I know that is a bad thing to share, but that was the honest truth. And I think it's very easy to pretend that your life is perfect once you go sober, but often that's not the case. That's just one factor that helps. The fact it coincided with me becoming a parent and changing careers and moving houses and moving daycares and having a toddler and trying and failing to fall pregnant, and then a pregnancy going, being a challenge. I think all of that was probably the real reason, but I do think it's important to share that not everything's perfect when you're sober.
But also, Hamish, I think because you didn't have the opportunity to numb out any of those situations and you had to face all those emotions that you felt since going sober. Like you really remember every single one, don't you? Can you remember your emotions before going sober as clearly? Because nothing really mattered as much, I guess, before you had Sonny and you had the baby, you had Romy. So it's like you've gone sober, but then also you're having to push through emotions that you've probably drank away in the past. Even though you were not a problem drinker, I think there were probably situations that you've been through in the last few years where you probably would have gone out and gone, oh, fuck this, I'm going to get pissed and not worry about it.
Absolutely. Of course there were. We also think that imposter syndrome is perhaps a consistent feature in sober people because you're in unfamiliar territory, right? So sobriety brings a lot of firsts. Your first sober party, your first sober wedding, your first sober Tuesday afternoon meltdown. When you're constantly doing new things, it's easy to feel like you don't know what you're doing at all, because the truth is you don't.
Yeah, that's so true. You don't seem to recognize your own success either. Sobriety is massive, but many people brush off their own achievements thinking anyone could do this or I just got lucky, rather than acknowledging the real strength it takes.
Sober people often suffer from imposter syndrome because sobriety requires a total identity shift. It requires rebuilding yourself from scratch while carrying shame and navigating new challenges. That can make even the strongest person doubt their worth or authenticity.
Okay, yeah. Because I've always felt like a really strong person. Like I've never questioned anything before. And also I think your brain, another thing for me, Hamish, is that my brain works overtime now. So there I'm thinking about everything rather than just thinking about nothing, which is what I did. It was just like thinking about, who's having a party or when's the next round coming in. I didn't really use my brain a lot. So I think also when you get sober, you start thinking more than you've ever thought, overthinking everything. I'm just going to mention here the book that John made me last Christmas. You know about this?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I'm so busy thinking everything I do shit. John's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, look at this. I opened up my Christmas present and it was this book of all the testimonials from people, hundreds, even 1,000 of them, I think, saying how much Sober Awkward has changed their lives. And he said, look, just read these when you're feeling down. Just look what you do. And still, even if I read them, for some reason, they just don't absorb into my body. I think part of it, Hamish, is that I fear that I'm talking about myself too much. I don't like people who talk about themselves too much, but it's kind of become my job. And then a family member last Christmas said, oh, Vic, you're always talking about yourself too much all the time. And it really stung my heart, because that is my worst person to hang out with, is somebody who doesn't let people speak or doesn't hear other people. And that is not who I want to be. So yeah, it's a real consciousness, and maybe I'm overconscious because I'm sober.
Would you say that that is your deepest fear of what other people think of you? Is that you're the type of person that speaks about themselves all the time?
Yes.
Yeah, I think me too. You know, there's that exercise people talk about, like, if you overheard someone leave the room, say something behind your back, what is the last thing you want it to be? I think it's that. Or if like someone hadn't hung up the phone and they're still on and they say, fuck me, she bangs on about herself. Like that, what's that thing that you fear the most?
That makes me anxiety. Oh, fucking hell, doesn't she bang on about herself a lot?
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't do it because we want to. It was never the plan to, like, it's so funny, right? This morning I've had breakfast with the amazing Yana Firestone. She has an amazing podcast. She's lovely. And we talked about this exact conversation, like writing memoir, for example. She's written 2 books as well. And we were talking about that. It's like, doesn't it feel like self-absorbent, you know? It's like, we're just talking about ourselves. I think the next step, Hamish, is to write fiction. Like, imagine the freedom of just going, oh, actually, I'm just going to write about someone else, like, that somebody that doesn't even exist. Like, for me, that's a total escape from what I'm doing now. So that could be an answer for me, I guess.
Yeah. My mum's opinion on therapy. She's like, oh God, how self-absorbent. You know, you go into a room, just bang on about yourself for an hour.
Yeah. It's exactly what my parents said. Oh, those people who go to therapy just talking about themselves for ages. It is sort of a modern affliction, this imposter syndrome, I think, isn't it?
So I totally agree. I've got a deep question for you, Vic.
Oh, God.
And that is, do you doubt your own success? Like, do you see it? Do you believe it?
I don't know whether it's success or not, like, in other people's eyes. Like, yes, I certainly doubt it. For me, success would be financial. Like, I think that's what I've been taught growing up, that you're only truly successful once you've got a lot of money in the bank, which I don't have. So maybe there's part of me that sees success in the wrong way, and that's maybe part of the problem.
Yeah. Well, because then you go, okay, well, how much money is success? You know, like,
yes,
what's the number that you reach and then you are successful?
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I wouldn't even know. I am rich in so many ways, just not in the bank.
Yeah.
It's true though. Like, I've got a beautiful husband, I've got lovely kids, I've got a roof over my house. Like, you know, I might have a stumpy finger, but generally I'm all right.
Yeah, you're doing good. Vic, what we're going to do here is an exercise where I hope this helps with imposter syndrome. That's the theory here. I'm going to list some things that I think you are successful at, and then you can respond with a list of things you think that I'm successful at.
It's going to be super cringy, Hamish, but humour me. I will see if I can listen without hiding under the table. And actually, then I'm going to shower you in some compliments too. It's going to be like some sort of British middle-aged white person rappers battle, saying kind things.
I feel like this conversation that's about to happen is the least British conversation that could ever possibly happen.
Yeah, we should do it in American accents, but we don't want to offend anyone.
No. Or do we just every now and in between compliments, just slag each other off a little bit? Would that make it more comfortable?
That would make us more comfortable. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, go on then.
Okay. From the books to the blog to the podcast, the sober groups, Cuppa, all of that, everything that you do, I think what it really boils down to is that what you do as a job is you serve others. You do what you do for a huge amount of time and very little money to put content out into the world, which might help change someone's life. That's your career. And it's working, in my opinion. I'm not sure if there is any more noble job or service in the world than doing what you're currently doing. Like, that is you using your skill set to the max to try and help someone's life who you've probably never met and will never meet. And I think if that is not the definition of success, then I don't know what is.
Okay, that's good. I like where you've gone with that, Hamish. Thank you very much. That is my plan. That is totally my plan.
Hang on,
Yeah,
but you've got a stumpy, weird little funny finger.
Yeah, that is.
You freak.
Yeah. Freak or unique, Hamish.
I've mentioned the mum thing. I'm not going to revisit it. This whole just a mum thing is insane. You are an excellent mum to your 3 kids. And I think more than that, in your latest book, which everyone should read, you've begun to inspire other mums who feel like they're coming up short. And I feel like through reading that book, they're not only going to feel seen and heard, but they're going to feel encouraged to keep going, even if they are messing it up in their own eyes.
Can I just stop you there? Can I say something negative about myself? Why?
Please do.
Okay. Why do I do that, Hamish? Why do I feel like it is my job to help everybody?
You know how everything's a subscription now? Music, movies, even socks. I swear if I...
To continue this ad, please upgrade to Premium Plus Platinum.
What? No. Anyway, Blue Apron...
This is a pay-per-listen ad. Please confirm your billing.
Oh, that's annoying. At least with the new Blue Apron, there's no subscription needed. Get delicious meals delivered without the weekly plan.
Wait, no subscription?
Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, max out your savings. The more you buy, the more you save on beds, bases, and more. Plus, get free home delivery on any smart bed with base. Limited time. Check it out at a Sleep Number store near you or at sleepnumber.com today.
Good question. I think perhaps that is the most efficient tool that you have found to be able to help yourself. I think you teaching other people about sobriety and you writing down how you feel about your parenting styles helps you stay sober and helps you parent.
Okay, yeah, that is true. Yeah, good. Yeah. Because sometimes I wonder if it's because I'm still got those people-pleasery tendencies and I'm just desperately trying to be liked. Like, I think there is partly a little bit of that going on too, which is what I'm going to look at a bit. Yeah.
But that wasn't your...
No, carry on with the good stuff.
Sorry, don't let me get caught in the weeds. I'm on a roll of just complimenting you.
Yeah, carry on.
I would say you are everything that John wishes for in a partner.
I thought you were going to say everything to me. No, you're everything that John wishes for in a partner. God, that'd be too deep. This is it.
I wish you were my wife.
I'm literally just going to take that bit out and have it as a meme and send it to your wife.
That could be the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think anyone that has seen you and John together, and obviously that's a small percentage of our listeners, or heard the way that you speak about him on the podcast or you write about him, will be able to see that like you and John are perfect for each other. And I think that is a wonderful thing to know in yourself about the person you've chosen to spend the rest of your life with. So I think you are a very successful wife, partner, best friend, however you want to label it, to John.
Yeah. You see, I find this really like vomit inducing, honestly.
So do I. But weirdly, I'm enjoying saying this to you, but I would absolutely hate to hear these things being said about myself.
Okay, here we go then. Right, should we move on?
No, I've got more. I've got more, but I'll rattle through them quick.
Go on then.
You find humour in the shittest of situations. That is your superpower. You're a fantastic party host who puts more enthusiasm and energy into parties than anyone I've ever met.
Okay, good.
You've changed my life through the podcast and for being such an excellent business partner, which sounds corporate, being an excellent co-host of the podcast. And I think maybe this is the one that you will take the most pride in all of those lovely things that I've said. Yeah. You're the only person in the world who I would walk into their kitchen and find them alone, dancing, dressed as an inflatable cock, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think, that's just Vic.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, that is
Isn't
true.
it?
Yeah, I do that sometimes on my own.
That's it. And you're the only person. I'm like, yeah, that's not weird. That's just Vic. And that is a cool thing to know.
Yeah, stick an old Ministry of Sound album on, get the inflatable penis costume out. Yeah.
And we wonder why Freddie draws huge penises.
Yeah. It's just the basic theme of our household for some reason. Yeah, we might get the authorities round, I think.
So just let all of that sink in. All right, shake off any awkwardness that you're feeling about the waterfall of compliments. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. I'm not sure any one of our listeners are interested in how brilliant each of us are they?
No, but they want you to not feel imposter syndrome. And if they're feeling it, they can replicate this exercise with someone else. And it might be cringingly awful for them too, or it might help.
So this is our plan, is that you do this with someone else so that you can feel better about yourself. Okay, you are a wonderful dad, husband and son. I presume that your mother likes you. That was just a guess more than anything else. I need to phone her and ask her. Actually, I'm going to say these, but then I'm going to sort of like backtrack on them at the same time.
We don't know if Sonny and Romy like me either. They don't say that many words.
I would say they cry
even just being a good husband's a maybe.
Yeah, good husbands and maybe. I would say you're a great dad from my point of view.
Thanks, yeah.
Yes, you're a very hard worker. You have integrity in your workplace. So whenever we're doing anything sober awkward, we match, I think, in our integrity of what we do. And we never falter, do we, in that? We're always trying to push forward with everything we do. And you do that very, very well. You're an award winner, Hamish. We won the best wellbeing podcast in Australia. You were part of that. You are an award winner. Earlier in this episode, you went, I don't know if I've got any awards. You have awards. And if there was an award for legs, you would also win that. You've got very, very nice legs. You're a marathon runner. How many marathons have you done?
I've done, I think, 8.
Okay, when you were a kid, if someone had said they're a marathon runner, what would you have thought?
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Yeah,
cool.
What a waste of time.
Yeah, look at his legs. Look at them go. A positive influence. Now, this is something that you don't do enough of. You could be going on all sorts of podcasts talking about your experience giving up alcohol. And not only that, but I think you don't realize this, but you are an advocate for sobriety, even though you don't know it. So I think you should absorb that a little bit. And people email us all the time, say, I really relate to Hamish's story. He's just, discovered the health benefits of giving up drinking without having a problem. And it's so inspiring. So I don't think you think about that. You're very thoughtful. You're always buying me nice presents for my birthday and things and sending me vouchers. You're kind. You're reliable. You live life to the fullest. Well, what more of a compliment could you want from that, Hamish? Somebody who lives life to the fullest. You handle stress well. You open to seeking help, which is what I absolutely love about you. There's not many men who will go, oh my God, I've got a problem. I'm actually going to get therapy for it, which I think is a wonderful trait to have. You're one of the best podcasters in the world, obviously. You're funny. More importantly, Hamish, you are well-mannered. You know to give up a seat for a pregnant lady. You would mow the neighbour's lawn if it was attached to your lawn. You're that sort of person. I actually have to stop because I can think of so many. Like, I'm not actually joking. I could go on and on. My list is never ending about what a lovely chap you are, Haim. How does that make you feel?
It is conflicting. It's, I mean, all of it is lovely to hear. Some of it I agree with.
Yeah.
Some of it makes me cringe about the fact that we're even talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah, me too.
But I feel flattered and I feel awkward, which I suppose is good for the topic of the podcast. I mean, we should feel a little bit awkward on every podcast episode, really, if we're being true to the name. That's how I feel. And I feel like you feel similar. Is it dissipating now? It's been a few minutes.
Absolutely grossed out by it, honestly, being nice to each other. It's disgusting and I don't like it. And it's not very funny. It just makes me feel like I'm in a yucky pool of sick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is it? It's ridiculous.
You're a prick. I'm a cock. Let's get back onto that level, shall we?
Let's get back on track.
So it seems like we might both be successful in the eyes of others, but we can't always see it in ourselves.
Oh, it's so sad.
I think what I want to do is have a look at the main traits of people with imposter syndrome. We're going to see if we both fit the bill, and we're going to see if this is something that comes up in sobriety that we perhaps didn't even know about until we were sober?
Okay, we're going to do ding noises. Okay, so here we go. The first one is feeling like you're faking it even when you're competent.
Oh, yeah. Ding.
Yeah. Ding.
For sure.
Believing you don't deserve praise, success, or recognition.
Sometimes
yes,
ding.
Yeah.
Sometimes ding.
Sometimes, yeah. I don't believe I don't. I believe I do, but then I can't handle it if I do.
Nice. That's how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. Constantly doubting yourself, even when you do things well. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. You write books. That's like the worst thing in the world for that.
It's the worst.
You finish a chapter and go, is it awful? What? Is it a complete piece of shit, or do I need to send this on?
Literally, Hamish, I've been doing my audiobook this week. I'm in the studio with this amazing guy called Gab, who's like a techno DJ. He's the sound producer. Every 2 minutes, I was turning to him and going, does anyone even want to read this shit?
I'm going to cut up that 2 seconds of audio and have it as a trailer for the book.
I'm not joking. Every 2 seconds, I was like, why have I written that, Gab? That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
He was like, no, it's really funny. I was like, it's shit though, isn't it? It's shit. Why does anyone need to know this rubbish?
Is there a worse job than writer for that feeling?
No, there isn't. Yeah. Downplaying your achievements. It wasn't a big deal. Anyone could have done it.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Ding.
Yeah. Ding, ding,
Yes.
ding. Yeah.
Okay, I've got a fun fact. Well, it's not fun, but it's reassuring, which is the most fun of the facts, are the reassuring ones.
Yes.
Studies show that up to... I love when we go studies. We're always general, aren't we? Studies.
Yeah.
Science
Studies on the
shows...
Yeah.
Studies show that up to 70% of people experience imposter syndrome at some point in their lives, including super high achievers. This is not uncommon. It's especially common among women, people in recovery, creatives, and anyone stepping outside of their comfort zone.
Okay, so I'm all of those things.
You're ticking quite a lot of those boxes.
I'm ticking all those boxes.
You're in the Venn diagram of the sweet spot of imposter syndrome.
I totally am. So in the context of sobriety, you might finally be thriving, getting compliments, doing amazing sober things. But inside you're thinking, if they really knew me, they wouldn't be impressed, or it's only a matter of time before I screw this up. This is me 100%, Hamish. And it makes me very happy because we really are unraveling some deep-seated issues here.
That's the issue, is only we know just how much of a piece of shit we were at our lowest when we were drunk. And now people meet you sober and like, wow, what an like you're sober and you're out living your life. I wish I could do that. And you're like, you have got no idea the filth that I have got up to when I was drinking.
I think you even hit the nail on the head there, actually, Hamish, because maybe our brains are still wired into the people we once were. So, like, I know that I was just a dribbly old mess, like traveling the world, being just a kind of bum. And maybe it takes, I did that for 25 years. So maybe it's going to take 25 years before I rewire my brain to understanding that I'm actually all right now.
That brings us back to the question that your mate asked you the other day. So what would the old you think of you today, Vic?
I mean, the old me would be passed out, lying on the floor in utter shock. The old me would not believe my life now for 1 second. When I say the old me, the version of me that appears is the drunk traveller, as I just said. The one that thought the most she would achieve would be like running a few bars or perhaps having one child. And I didn't hold high hopes for myself. But what I have achieved since I got sober is a lifetime of success in 7 years. So literally, I've completely changed my life in 7 years. I think I've made up for lost time, and the old me would be impressed beyond words, quite honestly. Like, it's just a different person. It's a completely different person. It's like I lived in that body, but I was trapped inside there, numbing everything out and not letting my creative side out. And like sobriety is like letting the true me out into the world.
Can I ask you the most cliche podcast interview question of all?
Oh, yes.
If you could go back and speak to the 6-year-old Vic, what would you say? In this case, the 25-year-old pisshead in Thailand. What would you say to her?
Oh, with being conscious of what people think of me. What do you mean?
No. You're sitting next to each other.
Yeah.
You're outside a bar in Thailand. She, old you, is hammered. You, new you, is sober and judging her.
Yeah.
What's the conversation?
Okay. Oh, God, that's a tough one, Hamish. I would say, oh, God, there's a little bit of vomit appearing, with a bile appearing at the back of my throat. I think it's that rice paper roll I had a minute ago, actually. It was the dippy sauce. I think that's rising up in my throat. I would say you're going to do great things. Okay, right? You will change lives. You're going to be a writer. You're going to win awards and have a husband and 3 beautiful kids. You're going to own a house and follow your dreams and passions. You're going to learn to be, she'd be like, go away by now. Like, keep going on about yourself.
Lunatic.
She'd be like, mate, I've got a bus to catch. Can you like hurry it up a bit?
I'm trying to chat up this bloke. Can you leave me alone?
Yeah. You're going to learn to use your voice and humour to help thousands of people. You're going to be loved. You don't need to worry. You will make it and you will live the life that you could have never imagined. I think imagine if I was being like that all the time, like being like that about myself. I just think it's a funny old way to speak about yourself. I do feel like an idiot saying that, but, you know, it is what it is. I am right, but like... looking on the outside, you'd think I walk around with my head held high saying how brilliant I am, but actually I don't. I read a quote recently, Hamish. Okay, this is a bit of a weird one. It says, the curious paradox is that when I accept myself as I am, then I can change. It's by Carl Rogers. This is very true for me. It's only when I stop questioning myself is when I have to seek the answers, a bit like Judy.
Judy? Who's Judy?
I don't know.
Okay, sure.
I don't know. It just says there, like, I don't know why I've written that
Judy.
up. Like, it's a bit like Judy.
Should we have invited Judy in as a guest for this episode? Should she be on this call and we've forgotten her?
Yeah, did we have a plan to meet a Judy today? Anyway, Judy, if you want to come on the podcast, we obviously were meant to invite you on because I've left a gap there for you too. Anyway, Judy, she's obviously doing it all right, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think like her.
What inspiration she is.
What inspiration, Judy. God bless her. So, Judy's aside, Hamish, what would you say to the you before you gave up drinking?
Well, before I get to that, that's a really beautiful quote, that. And I think that's why so many sober people get stuck. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself as I am, then I can change. Sober people struggle to accept who they are. Like we've both spoken about, we still think we're the old people, the pissheads, but we're just not drinking today. We're just not drinking at the moment. And we don't accept the fact that whether or not you're 1 day sober or 1,000 days sober or 10 years sober, they're all the same. You're sober. You know, that's who your identity is. Yeah. And the idea that we have to accept that before we can make any changes is great. Good quote.
It is a really good quote.
We're getting it to Carl Rogers, but I feel like Judy could have said that.
Yeah, Judy probably said it. I think not Carl Rogers. I do think with that quote as well, Hamish, it's where I described where I am. And these changes can happen whether it's with drinking, sort of self-growth or anything like that. The curious paradox is that when I accept myself, so what I'm saying about earlier about me, you know, basing my opinion on myself on the opinion of others, basically, it's me going, okay, I need to learn to accept myself and move on from this so that I can change. It's the same thing. And that can happen quite a few times throughout your life, I think, with different things, with personality, with addiction, with romances.
Nice.
I meant to say relationships.
With romances,
you know, just in case you're thinking about having a romance.
It was a one night stand behind a fish and chip shop. It's not a romance.
It's still a romance, Hamish. Yeah.
Okay, you asked me what would I say to the me before drinking. It would be that the thing you want more than anything in the world, which is to entertain and inspire people, is going to appear to you in the weirdest shape and form.
True.
Basically in Vic's shape and form.
Yeah, like a tree trunk. That's my shape and form.
A tree with glasses on. Everything, everything I've done up to that point in my life when we met with regards to other podcasts, interviewing, drunken mishaps, live performances, generally just saying yes to everything, was the perfect training for taking on the job as the Sober Awkward host. You know, I think it was easy for me to think like, I've had so many short bursts of different careers. Like, were they all just a waste of time? And actually, I've since realised they were all part of the tapestry that went into giving this a good go and making it successful.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the podcast itself would lead to open doors in the most unusual of places, like more than I ever could have imagined. From just like me and you sitting in your kid's bedroom talking shit has led us down some incredible paths. Even it played a role in me getting my first corporate job, because I think I've said this, in my final interview, one of the managers that was on the panel listens to the podcast. And I said, I do a podcast. She was like, I listened to it this morning. I was like, okay, I will get this job. So weirdly, Sober Awkward led me to getting a corporate job.
Yeah, it's weird that one of your managers now knows about your micro penis though, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like they all know about that just from looking at me. There ain't no bulge in my trousers when I sit down.
I'm sure that's what's happening in your office all the time, Hamish.
Hey, look here, guys. Look here. What can you see?
It's so annoying, like why we can't see all these things. I wonder how we can get over this imposter syndrome and start to embrace our wins, Hamish. I mean, how do we start seeing ourselves differently? We're grown-ups after all. Surely we can measure our own worth by now.
So how do we actually start seeing ourselves the way that other people see us, I guess is your question.
Yeah.
Not through the cracked old mirror of self-doubt, but through a clearer lens. It's not magic. It's small, simple practices that slowly, bit by bit, start to chip away at that old narrative you've been carrying around. So we've got a few ideas here. You write a letter to your old self from your current self. That's something you did after one of your first therapy sessions, was it?
Yes. And actually, I drew a picture in one of my therapy sessions of of what I thought, that was my son, of what I thought my life was like as a drinker. And then I drew a picture of myself, what I imagined or what I want to be. And actually, I've been thinking about doing that for this kind of little blip that I've been having last week as well. Because I'm thinking, like, when you imagine yourself in like your perfect situation, I don't imagine me like scrolling through Instagram, for example. Like I imagine me sitting under a tree with palm trees around on a hammock reading a book, like really peaceful. And there's no reason why I can't achieve that in my daily life. But it feels very far away from me at the moment, like just that very personal peace and mental peace perhaps. And the image that I have is that I want to get to that, some sort of inner peace and feel okay and feel like you're not overthinking things and not worrying about things. So I think that can be a really helpful task for anybody to do.
We also want you to celebrate micro wins, not micro penis, micro wins. Those are tiny victories that can be really powerful if you congratulate yourself for them.
Yeah, totally.
We're both bad at this.
Yeah.
We think like if it's not huge, like winning an Olympic medal, or for you, like booking another book deal. Booking a book deal, fun.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't really count, you know, the little everyday wins, like filling your tax return in without losing your mind and having a drink, don't count.
Yeah.
And that is the wrong way round.
And I think the longer you're sober, the less you tend to celebrate what you've actually achieved. Like making it through a crappy Monday without a drink is a win. Having a tough conversation sober is a win. Saying no to something that doesn't serve you is a massive win. And it's like all of these little wins all the time, we don't celebrate them, whereas in fact, we could. A lot of Cuppa, our community that we have, our Cuppa community, a lot of people share their little wins on there, which is lovely to see. And everyone gives them a high five and it's like, well done, these milestones are so important. And I do think it is important to share the wins and the downfalls as well. It is also important to see those so that you can remember them and move on from them. But I think celebrating the little wins on a day-to-day basis, maybe even just sticking one on the mirror so you see it in the morning and just going, well, look what I've bloody well achieved today.
And I enjoy congratulating people on Cuppa when they share little wins. And I enjoy reading people's little wins, but I definitely don't share little wins. So I think I can change that.
Yeah.
The brain loves small, regular rewards. It wires in confidence when you acknowledge small steps forward. It's going to build, we always talk about building that wall of confidence back up, and doing that will help.
I feel like sometimes I'm like a Labrador, Hamish, that I need to be fed like a little biscuit. I need to be fed little snippets of wins each day so that my tail keeps wagging.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. At first, I doubted that analogy, but I think you brought it back round.
Okay, good. Yeah, basically, it's quite simple. I'm basically saying I'm quite simple, and all you need to do is give me biscuits, and I'll be fine.
Okay, good.
Here's a better one. Keep an impact folder like my husband did for me. That's why I'm calling it the impact folder. So that all the little wins that I had, he wrote them down, he handed them to me so that I can read them wherever I want. It doesn't need to be like written down. It can be physical or digital. And you can save every kind email or every text or DM or voice or note or review or whatever from people that have helped or inspired you. So even if it's quotes on Instagram, like you can do saves and just sometimes go through those. Things like that are really helpful.
Even when you read them, you still can't process it. We hope that other people are better at dealing with it than you are. You get given this beautiful book and you read it.
No, but when I do read it, this is the thing with me, Hamish. I forget to be kind to myself. Like I need that stuff. And I sort of forget and I get lazy with it. It's all very well saying do a gratitude diary and do yoga and go for a run and go for a swim and do all this stuff. It's a lot to bloody well fit in a day. And for me, my confidence boosts and little wins and anything that makes me feel good, sometimes I just forget to do it. It's as simple as that. It's just stuff gets in the way. Boring stuff, admin, all the other kids stuff. It just gets in the way of me really sort of holding myself. I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but I don't ever give myself the time throughout the day to just go, right, you need to feed yourself some positive outside information so that you feel better about yourself. So maybe I need to work on that as well.
I want to give you all a reminder, and it's going to sound simple and silly, but I think it is important and it serves a purpose here. Feeling undeserving doesn't mean you are undeserving. Right? Just because you feel like you're not good enough doesn't actually mean that it's true. Feelings aren't facts.
Gosh, that is true, Hamish. Yeah.
Nice. Rice paper roll?
It's coming up. It's that hoisin sauce, isn't it?
That was meaty.
Yeah, it was a bit of a meaty one.
I felt that through the microphone.
I guess it's hard to argue with the evidence when it's sitting right here. I think my brain needs a receipt, Hamish, that I can refer to all of the time. I need something that I carry around in my pocket. I need you saying all those positive affirmations to me in my pocket so I can just pop you out, pop you on my shoulder, and you can whisper sweet nothings into my ear, Hamish. Would that be nice?
Oh, God, you're going to re-listen. This podcast episode is going to get more listens than ever before because you're just going to continuously go, 23 minutes in is Hames' 8-minute monologue on how brilliant I am.
Yeah. Do you know my dad had a fan club at school, Hamish? That's how popular he was. No, he actually started his own fan club, the Roger Vanstone fan club, where people all joined. They all signed up to join. And he was like...
Hang on. Yeah. Did he tell you this or did someone else tell you this?
He told me this.
See, this is where you've inherited it. That you can't say that about yourself.
Yeah.
I've got a fan club and people signed up.
I need to question him about that. He also resembled someone's mini in their lounge and held a boy down while his friends peed on him. He was a bit naughty, my dad, when he was younger. He's someone who doesn't have imposter syndrome, my dad. He's just happy with what he does, you know. He never questions it.
He's a guy that's happy with his lot.
Yeah, very happy with his lot. Definitely inspiring in that way, my parents. They just they are who they are. Whereas I'm always kind of striving for something else, which is terribly annoying, I can tell you.
Maybe it comes of age and it's a wisdom thing.
Yeah, totally.
Who knows? So not feeling imposter syndrome is not about one huge lightning bolt moment. It's hundreds of tiny choices to see yourself more kindly, more accurately day after day. And maybe sometimes you still cry and you still feel like an ex-pisshead, but you also get up the next day, answer your emails, help someone without realizing it, and slowly you start to feel it in your bones. I'm actually doing all right at this.
Yeah, I think that's all it can be sometimes, Haim. It's just like, I'm actually doing all right. That really is a soft way of saying, look, I'm going to support myself. Imagine telling your old self, the pisshead you, Haim, that you got sober. The old me wouldn't have believed it for a moment. I would have thought, what would you do that for? Drinking's the only thing I have going for me. And just look how much we changed. Maybe life is not about whether we reach success, Hamish. It's just that we can identify as learners. Always learning, always trying. I can say that without shame. It means I'm acknowledging some level of success.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, we're learners. I like that a lot.
I'm always trying to learn about things. Like, it would be nice if I was just content and I was peaceful and that was that. But then I wouldn't be striving. And the fact that I'm always trying to learn specifically about myself and what I do, it means that I'm always trying and that I'm always going to be moving forward in my life. And that's, that's something to be proud of, I guess.
You've got a book you want to recommend, and it's not your own, which would have been a nice opportunity to self-plug. So well done, you. What is the book?
It's called The Mountain Is You, Transforming Self-Sabotage into Self-Mastery by Brianna Weist. This book is about self-sabotage, why we do it, when we do it, and how we stop doing it for good. It's not by Judy. So who's Judy then? I thought maybe I put a Judy book in there. Who the fuck is Judy?
If your name is Judy, please write to us. We'll get you on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we need to do a Where is Judy podcast. Judy is missing.
It's sort of like the female Where's Wally?
Where's Judy?
Where's Judy?
I'm not sure who she is. We need to discuss this afterwards and go over the script again and try and understand who Judy is. Judy, if you're out there, can you please let us know why you are haunting our scripts?
Lovely way to finish it. Thanks, Judy. Thanks for listening.
I'm in the lovely way. Are you in the lovely way now?
Yeah, I'm in a romance.
Oh, that is the lovely way.
If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
They have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the...
Skip the gym, not the workout. With Hydro, you get a full-body workout in just 20 minutes, hitting 86% of your muscles in one smooth, low-impact motion. And now there's the new Hydro Arc, Hydro's most advanced rower yet. Arc introduces Hydrometrics, tracking your power, endurance, and precision every time you row, so you can actually see your progress. Go to hydro.com and use code ROW to get $100 off any Hydro rower, including Arc. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.
10 years from today, Lisa Schneider will trade in her office job to become the leader of a pack of dogs. As the owner of her own dog rescue, that is. A second act made possible by the reskilling courses Lisa's taking now with AARP to help make sure her income lives as long as she does. And she can finally run with the big dogs. And the small dogs, who just think they're big dogs. That's why the younger you are, the more you need AARP. Learn more at aarp.org/skills.
When you give gifts, you like to knock them out of the park. Airwick Essential Mist Diffuser's chic design, long-lasting scents, and effortless setup makes it the kind of gift that feels complete the moment it's unwrapped. Perfect for your favorite dinner party host or that friend who loves a cozy night in. Plus, its cordless design means you can easily take this gentle fragrance with you from room to room. Airwick Essential Mist. Ready to gift. Ready to uplift.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad bookstores?
No, it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh, yeah, really depressed librarian folk.
Yes,
okay,
good. So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years. It will make you laugh, cry and cringe, and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously, it wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends, buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy, buy it. Yeah.
And you know what? Don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Buy another one.
Yeah.